I watch the news and I'm in awe of what a day and a different it's been since Dr. Dwayne Sands, one of the inside man of the F&M, decided to come clean. It's ironic. Kai Mills has been saying for 9 long months that the number is not accurate. They could even bury the amount of dead. For 4 months, they had the number at 50 in the trailer. And they continually, every week, they put 3 or 4 bodies in the trailer. I say somebody ain't counting right. How could it still remain at 50? Dr. Sands was in charge and the number stood at 50. Look how the number fluctuated after Dr. Dwayne Sands tried to come clean. He's so dirty, he can't come clean. It's a little bit too late. He's trying to tell the Bahamian people what we already knew, Abaco what we already knew. And look at the excuses that they give. Cash for 9 months, the number was 37 dead. This is the man who was in charge of the investigation. This week, since Dr. Dwayne Sands came out and said it was in the thousands and the name was missing, the minister said it's up to 279. How could it jump from 30 some to 279 hours after Dr. Dwayne Sands made this revelation? This is unheard of in any civilized country. I don't know why they are afraid of telling the truth. Next thing I'd like to see is a list of the name. Put and gazette the names in the daily paper so we can compile these names. Hiram Lewis with his unwise self. I see why sometimes you just gotta let it go. I see why K. Forbes Smith was running all over Hiram Lewis. She recognized, she's from Grandmama, he's from Grandmama. She recognized that his brains don't come all the way up to the top. And they trying to educate educated people of what happened by saying 3 and 4 people in one house report the same thing. That's impossible. When they were missing, we were all in the same house. We knew who were missing. It didn't take 3 and 4 of us. Most of the time, the families, they designate somebody because you couldn't up and down. You didn't have no transportation. So you think one day this family member going to report, the next day the next family member going to report? That's nonsensical, Hiram Lewis. We didn't have 3 and 4 people reporting the same people. That's a lie. Come clean, man. One family member was designated. If they didn't go together, they went separately. And they didn't give you different names. They give you the same name. And they didn't add or subtract. Y'all weren't doing your job. It was just like, you didn't care from the beginning. If by now, 9 months in, the number went in one day from, according to Cash, who was leading the investigation, 30 some, all of a sudden the minister say 279. You see what a jump that is? Okay, give us the names. Since y'all got problem with adding, at least give us the name. We'll start to add and subtract from what y'all got because y'all don't even know what you got. I don't believe to date that y'all didn't have 279 names. It was never important to y'all. It was so not important that y'all didn't care, y'all didn't give a hell. The FNM government really didn't give a hell, and still to date don't give a hell about Abaco. Whether we were living or dead, they just wrote us off. They were on their horse and their brains were somewhere else. I don't know where they were, but they were not my brother's keeper. They didn't consign, and now, and today, all they're doing is trying to save face because one of their own broke rank. If Dr. Sands wouldn't have broke ranks, we wouldn't hear about the numbers. You will only hear about the numbers from Kai Mills. I keep saying for 9 months, the numbers is incorrect. The amount of people that were in the trailer is incorrect. The guys right up, the EMS person's right there. All the news people gotta do is talk to them. They could tell you how many were put in there. They were there when they put there daily. I'm talking about 10, 20 people were put in the trailer since Dr. Sands and a little drunken administrator down at the clinic said it was 50. 50 times 20 is what? But you see, they have already, K. Forbesman already had a budget. It's not going to go under 50, and it's not going to go over 50. If there was 1,000 people, their number was 50. That is wrong. So there's a lot of people. You know what I would have liked to see? What was left in that trailer? Next question, I'd like to know, where is that trailer? Did they put that back there to bring produce and meat to Maxwell's? The public, Kai want to know, did that trailer get destroyed? Or y'all put a little bleach in it and it's back to normalcy after 9 months of rotten corpse inside there, thawing out and freezing up? What Hiram Lewis, K. Forbes Smith, the incompetent authority, did y'all do with that trailer? A next question, that if Kai was the MP, I would have said that I would have done this already. We have in Abaco dialysis center. We call it the kidney center. Ask your member of parliament, they aren't going to look into this already. But he don't know. I don't think he daren't even know where the dialysis center is, nor does he care. But we have a lot of family that's on dialysis that also would like to come back home. But because the kidney center is closed, they can't repatriate back to Abaco. It was crazy when I last saw Dr. Dwayne Sands at the clinic in Marsh Harbor. You know, Abaco, we have one of the most beautiful dialysis center in the clinic in Marsh Harbor. But Dr. Sands said to Kai Mills, it is cheaper for them to send dialysis patients to the kidney center, which is a private center. So why did the government waste my money and your money to build and put a dialysis center in the clinic if it's cheaper to oust it to a private company? Well, these private fellas, while they were in government, they sealed the deal and they're out of power, and the deal with the government still have to pay them with their private dialysis center when we have one that is owned by the government. All the government have to do is find the personnel to run it. It is there, but they refuse to give the people what they spend their money on. Our own dialysis center is in the clinic, but we have to wait until the kidney center is open to bring our loved ones back that are on dialysis to see their Abaco and try to help rebuild. That's unacceptable, man. But that's when you have an MP that's hands-on and care and know that these people exist I don't think my MP and James Albury and Darren Henfield even know about the dialysis center and the many people that are on dialysis that want to come back home and they're not able to because the government haven't liaisoned with the private dialysis center to make sure that they're up and running so our loved ones will come back. So all the fiasco, as I put that dialysis center in there, as a caring member of the community that know that these people need to come back, all the hoopla about the numbers that are missing, the government never cared. They showed that they didn't care by leaving our loved ones in the trailer for 9 months before they bury them. And how they bury them, disallowing the loved ones to come to the funeral. That's the kind of love and lack thereof that this F&M government has shown Abaco in the way it's chopped our life. It was so ironic that the prime minister would go to the Haitian funeral, the Haitian that would drown and capsize in the back of Guanaki in Manawar. He was present at that and had the Mr. Two Passport right beside him speaking Creole. This is crazy. This fella ain't got no shame. He was there with Frankie Campbell speaking Creole. But he couldn't make 1 hour flight, half an hour flight after he left the dead for 9 months. This prime minister didn't care. Neither did the deputy prime minister. Darren come at the last minute and he couldn't wait to get out of there. That's how much they cared about our dead. They care less about the dead than they do about the living. Nothing has changed. You imagine they say they have $1 million to build a hurricane center. Darren say he has that money since September to build a hurricane multi-purpose building in Lake City. And he had the money from September. We are now in hurricane season. Why are you holding $1 million? When are you going to break ground? Or is this for the next hurricane season? Because it's almost too late for this one. It's already begun. And you haven't broke ground yet. You got the money in the bank, collecting interest. Why haven't the Hurricane Center started when you had $1 million from September, 10 months ago? It's one of these Kai care, letting Abaco know you get the government you deserve. You all stood on the line for 3 hours and voted F&M. Kai cares.